thing. I think both of us were a little unsure, you know. We knew who we were, but we didn't. Does that make sense? It was funny. It was, yeah.
I remember that second night, you know, just getting really pissed and really being very flirty and kind of. But that's part of the character, you know, you take it in the deep inside.
Donkey Man, I know you're hurting.
Deep inside.
And I can see.
Deep inside.
How much you want me.
Deep inside.
Is life passing you by? Or is it me? We're both hurting, Donkey Man.
Deep inside.
We're both searching, Donkey Man. We're both aching.
Deep inside.
Aching. Facilitate me.
Yeah, he loved. He was so full of things. He would get an idea into his head that that's what he wanted to do. Oh yes, I really want to go walking, or oh let's have sausages, or whatever. You know, really wanted to give everything that he could to that thing. You know, with his poetry, of course, with his you know, his bits of music. His whole life was passionate, I think, and he really, oh, you know, he gets so excited. You know, one minute he'd be really into the colour purple, and the colour of the film, and then he'd be really into wearing trainers for a week or two, and then another day he'd be fascinated by pictures of helicopters or whatever, you know, and then really want to sit in the park naked and eat macaroons, you know, one minute, and then the next minute work in an office. It was great.
A very firm grip, a good firm grip, like a big strong hand, he had very strong hands, strong in the forearms, like a bear in the woods, like a bear in the woods, like a gripping, holding. Bear, gentle, loving, gripping bear in the woods.
You know, he was unique in his own way of dressing, his own way of undressing.
Have you ever read any of his work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, you feel something through his work. So I think definitely talents. That's one of his attributes. Even his eccentricity was, you know, it's definitely something I quite value with people, and Evelyn was definitely one of them, who had his own very own personality, didn't give a damn about what other people would think about him, and I think it leads you to well, sometimes it's a bit annoying because you try to exchange opinions and only his opinion was the right one, so that can be annoying, but at the same time it's nice to see someone who's passionate and believes in what he's doing and what he thinks.
Had fantastic eyes, fantastic. They could really see things. You know, like if he opened his eyes, he could look and he would see things. You know, wonderful. You know, wonderful.
He's clearly gifted. He's one of those people that's so intelligent that it becomes a bit daunting, and if he tends to overwhelm people sometimes, like People don't really understand that. They just took him at face value. Whereas if you knew him for a bit longer, it would be like a really, really sweet guy. He's a really, really cool guy.
You know, they were fascinated by him, absolutely fascinated. You know, he just had something special about him.
It's about him, he was honest, sometimes too honest. Like the amount of times he was really off his fucking head and says he wants to stick his finger up my arse. He loved to suck my bollocks, all that sort of bollocks, you know. It's like, oh, fuck off, man, you know, there's plenty in you, don't fucking look at me.
The way he wore his tie. Nobody wore a tie like Evelyn, you know. The way he counted on his fingers, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody did that. There was, you know, little things about him that were just totally Evelyn and nobody else. You know, his car, the fact he had the same car for all his life. I've never known anyone with that. I think that I think all these things, his foibles, his nuances were written up in his poetry. He was able to express himself 199% of the time. I think that his expression was amazing. I think his fear was also his other big attribute. His fear of what was going to happen was always in the back of his mind. And I think that carefulness of which he lived his life, the walking 3 steps, 1 step, 3 steps, 1 step, 3 steps, 1 step, 3 steps, 1 step, was part of his whole character. You could sum it up by, you know, by that whole, the walk, by the car, by the counting, by the tie. Never forget that. His life was Evelyn's greatest attribute.
He was loyal to those that he felt he was able to be loyal to. And he was kind when he wanted to be. And forceful when he needed to be. Strong, very, very strong when he was stronger. He loved bird songs.